You're not disconnected from nature. You were programmed to forget it. The forests inside you didn't die. They were buried under concrete, notifications, and 9 to 5 sedation. What you feel, that dull ache, that silent panic, is not anxiety. It's the scream of a soul that's been caged inside a productive citizen. They told you that spirit is found in retreats, digital meditations, or high-end wellness. But that's a lie. The sacred isn't elsewhere. It's just been hidden by fluorescent lights and algorithmic hypnosis. Here's the image. A man in a suit stands alone on a rooftop surrounded by steel and silence. He closes his eyes when he hears drums. Not from outside, but deep inside his chest, ancient, invisible, undeniable. That sound? It's not delusion. It's memory. Why now? Because this era is collapsing from within. You scroll endlessly but remain untouched. You own everything but feel empty. You're constantly connected and deeply alone. Your nervous system is screaming for ritual, for meaning, for wildness. But the world only offers updates and deadlines. And I speak of this because I was devoured by that same machine. I wore the mask. I chased promotions. I numbed the call. Until one night, barefoot in a forgotten urban park, I lit a leaf on fire, and it burned through the lie. No psychedelics, no retreat, just presence. That's when I remembered, urban shamanism isn't fantasy, it's survival. It's the last sacred language still whispered beneath the noise. From the very beginning, you were trained to silence the wild. The child who talks to animals is imagining things. The teen who stares at the moon too long is lost. The adult who hears whispers in the trees is sent to therapy or medicated. You weren't disconnected. You were domesticated. You were taught to mistrust the sacred that speaks in silence. In the American cityscape, nature is labeled as green space. Birdsong becomes background noise. The sun is reduced to a weather app icon. The cycles of your body, once aligned with the moon, are now aligned with performance reviews. You no longer listen to the wind, you obey notifications. They didn't just steal your connection, they ridiculed it. Robert Cialdini would call it social proof, the fear of breaking away from the herd. Carl Jung would say your collective unconscious has been sterilized, scrubbed clean of mystics, shamans, and dreamers. And Gabor Mate would show you how your chronic anxiety is not weakness, it's trauma, a deep exile from your true nature. But this conditioning was surgical. You were programmed to be ashamed of your instincts, to suppress your animal intelligence, to fear your own darkness, to believe that sacredness is a luxury for the rich, not a birthright for the human soul. You became a worker, a consumer, a citizen, but not a being. And so now you sit beneath LED lights and wonder why your spirit itches, why no amount of shopping, scrolling, or spiritual content fills the void. It's not because you're broken. It's because you were rewritten. But nature? She never left. She's waiting beneath the concrete, humming through your blood, whispering, "Come back." There's a forgotten forest inside you, but each time you wear your social mask, suppress your gut feeling, and conform to another meeting, another role, another script, another tree in that forest falls. The ego was trained to perform. The wild healer became too sensitive. The inner warrior got replaced by the efficient worker. The seer turned into the anxious one. And the shaman, the one who listens to silence, was buried alive under diagnoses and prescription pads. Carl Jung warned, "What you do not bring to consciousness appears in your life as fate. So here's your fate. High-functioning anxiety, shallow relationships, sleep that never really rests, a ghostly hunger that no food, love, or success can satisfy. You're not defective. You're in exile. You've been severed from your inner tribe, the archetypes who once danced freely inside you. Now they sabotage you from the shadows. The healer becomes the addict. The warrior becomes the self-harmer. The seer becomes the one who overthinks everything until meaning collapses. This is the real pandemic. Not a virus, but fragmentation. You were told to wear a smile while dying inside, to meditate without feeling, to forgive without grieving. But the shadow never disappears. It just changes form. Into self-sabotage, into rage you aim at yourself, into spiritual bypassing that feels like peace, but smells like denial. Urban shamanism isn't about going wild. It's about reclaiming the wild that was tamed. The part of you that howls under moonlight, that cries during thunderstorms, that feels spirit when walking barefoot on cold city pavement. This isn't madness. It's memory resurfacing. You can order food without speaking, swipe your way into someone's bed, stream a sunrise in Thailand while lying in your cluttered bedroom. But you still feel hollow, like something essential was stolen and replaced with convenience. They told you this was freedom, but you are not free. You are distracted. You are exhausted by options but starved for meaning. You chase experiences that disappear the moment they're posted. You light scented candles but never ignite your inner fire. You follow spiritual influencers but ignore the call erupting inside your own body. The city offers rituals, but they're false. Coffee shops instead of sacred circles, gyms instead of primal movement, self-help podcasts instead of screaming into the woods. Everything is optimized, sanitized, and monetized. Daniel Kahneman would say your brain was hijacked by comfort loops, but comfort became confinement, and shopping became sedation. Even your search for healing is filtered, marketed, packaged into weekend retreats with hashtags and vision boards. You want transformation, but not the death that comes before it. You want to be reborn, but without bleeding. The modern world is a master illusionist. It sold you abundance while stealing your roots. It gave you dopamine and took your dreams. You became empowered and were more afraid than ever. The sacred is not found in trends. It's found in collapse. In the moment, you can no longer pretend that you're fine, that your rituals are working, that your life isn't aching for something raw, sacred, and untamed. False freedom isn't freedom. It's a spiritual coma. And the only way out is in. At some point, you stop pretending. You stop blaming anxiety. You stop numbing the ache. You realize the void is not a flaw, it's a doorway. And behind it waits a part of you that never forgot how to howl, how to burn, how to listen. Urban shamanism doesn't ask you to escape the city. It asks you to sanctify it, to turn the subway into a tunnel of initiation, to make your balcony an altar, to find the sacred pulse beneath the sirens and cement. One breath at a time, one small, private ritual. That moment you close your eyes and touch your chest, that's where the wild begins again. That moment you light a single match with intention, the fire returns. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Your word is your wand, so speak new spells. Name your sadness, sacred grief. Call your insomnia a visitation. Make your morning coffee a sacred offering to the tired warrior inside you. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect conditions. You need presence. You need willingness to feel strange, to be seen differently, to walk barefoot where others run blind. They may call you eccentric, too sensitive, too mystical. Let them. You are not here to be understood. You are here to remember. And memory is ritual. Not the kind sold in stores, but the kind that cracks your chest open and lets your forgotten ancestors sing through you. You don't need a forest to become whole. You just need to stop pretending you are separate from it. In the end, there is no escape. Not to Bali, not to the forest, not to some imagined future where you finally feel aligned. There is only this breath, this concrete under your feet, this quiet revolution happening inside your ribcage. You are not broken. You are not late. You are not missing anything. You are the ritual. You are the altar. You are the drumbeat echoing through generations of silence. And no, this path won't be clean. You'll grieve identities you once worshipped. You'll lose friends who fear your depth. You'll cry in public. You'll feel everything they told you was too much. But that too much, that's your power returning. Because when you stop pretending to be normal, you start remembering that you're sacred, and you're not alone. All over the world, others are hearing it too. The call, the beat, the wild wisdom rising from the ruins. So light a candle, speak a truth, Walk slowly. Touch the tree growing through the sidewalk crack like it's your sibling. Because it is. This isn't aesthetic. This is rebellion. A soul-level refusal to die without being fully alive. Mantra: I am the forest they tried to erase. Comment below: I am the forest they tried to erase. Share this with someone who forgot who they are. Subscribe if you're ready to reclaim what they buried. Your spirit was never lost, just waiting for silence loud enough to hear it.